lordly mountains soar in scorn, as still as death, as stern as fate.
Hello and welcome everyone to Connecticut Summerfest's virtual fundraiser gala. My name is Gala Flagello and I'm the festival director and co-founder of Connecticut Summerfest.
And my name's Aaron Price. I'm the artistic director and co-founder of Connecticut Summerfest.
Connecticut Summerfest brings together some of the country's most talented emerging composers with inventive chamber music ensembles for a week-long festival of artistic exchange, culminating in 9 world premieres. And tonight we have an evening of beautiful music, exciting interviews, and a director's discussion to benefit our virtual 6th season. If you joined us just a few minutes early, you were actually listening to the music of our 2020 festival composers.
We're so excited to announce that we've actually massively surpassed our original goal for ticket sales for the gala tonight of $2,000. We've actually raised over $4,400, so over 220% of our original goal. So thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Really makes a huge difference. And you're going to learn more about how your donations come to make such a huge difference in what we do and some of the exciting things that come up both in the virtual festival and in the future. And just know over the course of tonight's events that a chat function is available next to this video on YouTube. So if you'd like to chat, please feel free. The only thing is you will need to log into a YouTube account in order to use the chat function.
We would also like to announce that this evening we have a virtual pop-up shop on our website, which is gala.ctsummerfest.org, or you can use the camera on your phone to scan the QR code in the bottom left corner of your screen. So definitely go check that out. Many of these shop items were actually donated by some generous friends of the festival, and all proceeds from your purchases go to helping fund our festival, which is next month. So if you have a friend's birthday coming up or need a Father's Day gift, or you just want a little treat for yourself, we've got you covered. Head over to gala.ctsummerfest.org or scan the QR code.
And so we're excited to present to you this year's 2021 Festival Composers, which should be coming up on your screen just about now. And we are so thrilled to welcome these 9 talented composers to our 2021 virtual festival, tuning in from actually all over the world. We cannot wait to hear the pieces that they've created for our ensembles and residents, Hub New Music, Front Porch, and Zofo on our Evening of Premieres concert on June 18th. So stay tuned over the coming weeks as we introduce each of these composers on our our Instagram and Facebook pages.
And up now, we have a special performance for you by Maddie Wildman and Carolyn Schubring of Ensemble in Residence Front Porch. This piece is called Sonata in Sol Majore by Marco Bertucelli for bassoon and piano. Thanks again for joining us this evening, and we'll see you after this piece.
Thanks again, Maddie and Carolyn, for joining us tonight. What a fantastic performance. We'd like to give a shout out to everybody who's been speaking up in chat. Looks like recently we heard from Don, Ryan, Dennis, Zachary, Seth. Hi, everyone. And now we'd like to introduce Gilda Lyons, Connecticut Summerfest composition faculty in both 2020 and 2017, as well as my and Gala's former mentor when both of us went to the Hart School. Welcome, Gilda.
Hi, Erin. Hi, Gala. It's great to
Hello.
see you both.
So we're hoping you could tell us.
We're just right here, right? This is what we do. We're in this Zoom box doing this. Someone said it's like the Titanic.
As people do.
It is good to see you both, though.
Same to you. So we were hoping you could actually tell us a little bit about your experience working with the composers last year at our 2020 virtual festival.
Absolutely. So I was, it happened during the time where we were all still off guard and reeling from all of the changes. As if we've ever stopped reeling from the changes, right? But as things started cycling around, right, we're a little bit more prepared right now. And last year you had pivoted, as we all were still, figuring out what that meant. So it was just so fantastic to see how beautifully run your ship is, that you were able to make an experience for everybody that was rich and really very full of meaningful interactions. So that's, and if for those of you whom I haven't met, I am composition faculty at the Hart School. I've been acting chair for the last year, and I've worked with Gala and with Erin directly, and so we're all wildly proud of them in all of their successes, and to see the work that you're both doing with Connecticut Summerfest. And how many years now?
6.
This is our 6th season.
It is, right? Wow. So, but you're doing such a fantastic job, both of you, both in, as composers, but also in this project that you're taking on together. And we're all really excited by the work that you're doing. So, so as far as specifics last year, working with the students and also giving a master class and watching other people's master classes and your guest speakers, and then the performances that you had for all the composers, it's all really, you bring in a lot into a really compressed time frame. And that to me is it feels like your mission, right? Which was to create a festival that was a reflection of the things that you wanted as composers. And you really have done that. And even in that remote setting, you managed to bring that to everyone. So cheers and clapping emoji.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, so tell us a little bit more about what you've been doing. So what are some of your upcoming projects?
Oh, I'm happy to say there's a lot. And the summertime is coming. I just sang Wild Mountain Time, which starts with that line, the summertime's coming. But I just had a premiere with Voices of Ascension in New York. That was performed by Trio Triumphatrix, who's just marvelous. And I had a chamber opera that I wrote for Resonance Works Pittsburgh that just went up this last season. I'm finishing a piece for Quince right now, which I know you know because you brought in Quince into Connecticut Summerfest. They're monster vocalists. If anybody has not heard of Quince, look them up. They're fantastic. And so I'm also due on Monday is a piece for choir and chamber ensemble that I'm writing for Wintergreen Music, and pivoting then to a piece for Music of Viva New York, which I'm really excited about, that launches next season.
I'm actually reminded that for those of you, since we're all on YouTube anyway, I think after the virtual gala tonight, if you go onto our channel, you should be able to find performance of, I think it was Bone Needles that they performed by Gilda Lyons.
Oh yeah.
That Quince performed at our 2019 festival.
That's very cool. Yep,
it all circles back.
Right now, they just recorded it for the CSO, and it'll be airing in a couple weeks. So very cool. Yeah.
Amazing.
Definitely.
Well, I think those are all the questions that we have for you tonight, Gilda. Thank you so much for being with
Congratulations
us.
to you on another successful year.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Okay,
Have a
bye.
good evening.
Bye.
So next up, we'd like to introduce you to one of our 2020 festival composers, Katie Hedrick. And we'd like to welcome Katie now. Hi, Katie.
Hey.
How are you doing? Where are you calling us from tonight?
So right now I am in Morgantown, West Virginia. I actually just graduated today at 2 p.m. So I'm officially Bachelor of Composition. So I'm feeling pretty good right now.
Amazing. Well, as you know, we have asked you here tonight to tell everybody who's watching a little bit about your experience at Connecticut Summerfest 2020, which was our first virtual festival. This year is also a virtual festival. We're wondering if you could tell us a little bit about what it was like to work with the International Contemporary Ensemble, who is our ensemble in residence that you wrote a piece for last year.
Yeah, so I did get to meet with them a couple times when I was working with them. They took care of a lot and made an amazing recording, which I'm sure that you can find on the Connecticut Summerfest YouTube page, that I have used to submit to graduate school for my portfolio, and I used to submit to another festival that was pretty successful. I'm really happy with it. The musicians were extremely kind and very adaptive to what I needed from them out of the recording and what COVID era requires of premiering pieces. In fact, one of the violists, Wendy Richmond, we got in contact over the last semester. She came to our school and did a masterclass for us on viola, and I got to play for her. So it's really awesome to just have like all these interconnections and still keep in contact with the International Contemporary Ensemble and to have such a great experience.
Yeah, amazing. And, you know, I'm so glad that you brought that up because we often joke that the music world is such a small world, but I mean, that's part of what Connecticut Summerfest tries to do is like build lasting relationships rather than just sort of like one and done reading. So really glad to hear that you and Wendy were able to keep in contact. And also, like you mentioned, your piece, Katie, is on our YouTube channel where all the folks are watching right now. But anybody who was here right before our stream started may have also heard your piece because we were playing all of last year's festival composer pieces before the stream started. So that's another fun fact for you. Just before you, we had Gilda Lyons on, who was one of our composition faculty members last year, in addition to Matt Sargent and Phyllis Chen and Nathan Davis, both of whom are members of the International Contemporary Ensemble. So we were wondering if you could talk a little bit about what it was like taking lessons with either or one or multiple of our composition faculty members.
Yeah. So I think my favorite thing about the faculty was that everyone was so diverse. They had so many different interests, so many different styles of music, so many different experiences that they gave me individualized advice that I could really take to heart and that was unique to them. Their personalities were all so warm and inviting, and they had so many nice experiences to share with me since I was looking at graduate schools at the time. They gave me a lot of pointers on that. Yeah, they were very warm, kind, and I couldn't have asked for anything better.
Oh, I'm glad. And I also want to congratulate you, since you just mentioned the grad school search, on your acceptance to UMKC for your master's in composition this fall. And also, little shameless plug, one of our 2021 composition faculty members, Chen Yi, is on faculty at UMKC. So that's another kind of fun little connection. With your master's coming up and this summer, we'd love to ask if you have any upcoming projects you'd like to talk about a little bit.
Yeah, so you mentioned one of them. I am going to graduate school at UMKC, so if you're in the Kansas City area, I will be there. I'll be composing, I'll be around, probably playing viola as well. The other thing that I have coming up is I am officially going to Italy this summer. I just got the notice that it is in person, the Alba New Music Festival. I will be premiering a piece with the Hub New Music Ensemble, who is absolutely incredible and will be at Connecticut Summerfest as well, I hear. So I'm very excited about that. Those are two of the places you can find me coming up, and yeah.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight, Katie. Good luck with your upcoming premiere, and also congrats again on UMKC.
Thank you, and thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And I just got an exciting update that we got our first virtual pop-up shop sale. Thank you so much to Heather Ann Flagello, who purchased the rose basket from Honeybee Skincare. And just as a quick reminder, if you'd like to check up our virtual pop-up shop, you can go to gala.ctsummerfest.org or just scan the QR code in the bottom left corner of your screen. We also would like to highlight some of the other shop items that we have for sale. The other is the second of the two baskets from Honeybee Skincare. So if you'd like to check that out, all of that is handmade skincare and also really beautiful candles. So if you know somebody who would be interested in that, you want a gift or just treat yourself. A couple other highlights, we have some handmade polymer clay earrings that are beautiful little clouds. So if you are an earring wearer, maybe that's of interest. And finally, if you are a Costco shopper, Costco generously donated shop cards to us as well. So those are awesome items in the Gala virtual pop-up shop. So check that out at gala.ctsummerfest.org. Oh, and I'm just seeing that we got a second sale from our shop. So thank you so much to the person who purchased the wine cork coasters, which are also another beautiful handmade item. And those went to Seth Williams. But now we have a special announcement about one particular item from the shop. Joining us now is Mike Avitabile, who is the flutist and executive director of 2021 Ensemble in Residence Hub New Music. Mike has a special announcement about that shop item coming to you right now. So take it away, Mike.
Hello, my name is Michael Avitabile, and I am the founder and flutist of Hub New Music. We are one of this year's Connecticut Summerfest ensembles in residence, and we could not be more excited to be part of the festival this year. This is our second time playing with Connecticut Summerfest. We wish we could be there in person with everyone this year, but we're very excited and grateful to be able to work with the composition fellows and present a concert of our own touring rep online for all of you and for the Connecticut Summerfest community. Outside of my work with Hub New Music, I also do a little bit of food writing, and I have a blog project called Farm to Avitabile, in which I pair new recipes I'm working on with some of the music I'm listening to, and it's a project that I started during the pandemic, and it's been keeping me sane and in my kitchen where we are right now. I am really excited to offer as a little perk to lovely attendees at the gala. For anyone who donates $50 or more, you will get to hop on a Zoom cooking class with me, in which we will cook one of the recipes I have coming up for a newsletter with Farm to Avitabile. So you get a little bit of a sneak preview before it gets published, and you're going to help me also develop the recipe and troubleshoot any of the last minute little things that I need to adjust in it. And one of the candidates, I have a couple that I'm dreaming up that we can cook together, and I'll let you all vote on it, is this lovely pan-roasted chicken thigh with some seared leek and anchovy sweet pea cream. I'm going to try to make this look as presentable without dropping my dinner. It's definitely sliding off the plate now. Anyway, I want to thank you all so much for tuning into our virtual gala this year. I can't wait to connect with all of you at the festival in June. And if you are able to give $50 or more, I'm looking forward to hopping on a little cooking class with you. Thanks so much, and have a great night.
Thanks, Mike. So if you're interested in learning how to cook with Mike Avitabile of Farm to Avitabile, as well as from Hub New Music, you can check that out in our virtual pop-up shop, gala.ctsummerfest.org, or again, we have a QR code in the corner of the screen. All you got to do is click the pop-up shop button, and of course, click on Mike Avitabile's face, and you'll be brought right to the page. So I forgot to mention just a little bit earlier that since we have so massively surpassed our original goal, that we set a new stretch goal for tonight for the Fundraiser Gala of $6,000 in honor of our 6th season. So if you'd like to support our tuition-free initiative or any of the other programs that we're running, please do make a donation now. It's on that same page, gala.ctsummerfest.org. And of course, all proceeds from the virtual pop-up shop also go towards that goal.
And up next, we would love to introduce you to Connecticut Summerfest's Technical Operations Manager, Pete Williams. And don't forget that Pete will be relaying your questions and comments to us to answer live. So if you have any questions, please don't forget to put them in the chat box at the side of your screen. Welcome, Pete.
Hey, it's so good to be here, guys. Hi, everybody. My name's Pete Williams. I've been lucky enough to be the MC of these events in the past when we've been able to gather in person. So Gal and Aaron were kind enough to let me still pretend that I'm the MC by interviewing them tonight and kind of being, like I like to do, the person that sort of bridges the gap between the organization and this wonderful audience of donors that we have here tonight. One of my favorite parts about the organization every year is in doing that, I get to expose to everybody what it's like to be inside the room when you're not married to Gala and you're not in the room when all the big ideas are hatched. So I'm happy to pose any questions that people have tonight. And I don't see any right now, so I have one of my own, which is, and Gilda got into this a little bit too, which is great. Like, let's talk about how over the last year, Summerfest had to really evolve and further its mission in a different way. And what are some of the things that we were able to achieve through the innovation that we did?
Sure. So, of course, last year was a very quick pivot. This year, we knew from the beginning that we were going to have a virtual festival. We got excellent feedback from the composers, the ensembles. We really took it to heart. And one of the things that we really wanted to strive for in this virtual format was building that sense of community. So a sense of community between ourselves and the ensembles and audiences, but also between the festival composers, the ensembles, our staff, and everybody involved, because generally speaking, in person, that's a very easy and straightforward thing to do. But in a virtual setting, it can sometimes be a little bit clunky. So one of the ways that we've come to overcome this is we created, for example, a Discord server that allows for more casual chats that would sort of be the in-passing or at a meal kind of chats that you would have, and also allows us to host things like virtual game nights, coffee check-ins in the morning, and so forth. And so those of you who joined us for our concerts last year may remember that we also instated post-concert Zoom lobbies that essentially fill in for the receptions after the concert. And what's actually nice is an unintended benefit of this is that people who aren't able to come to the concert in person can now join us and speak to the ensembles and really get to interact with everybody, even if they're not physically in Connecticut.
Yeah, and I'd also like to add to that our virtual format helps us increase accessibility for the composition students as well as for our audiences, like Aaron was just mentioning. And part of that accessibility is removing financial barriers. So this season we saw our most successful application season ever for our composition program. And that is definitely partly due to the fact that we instated a pay what you wish model for our application fee. Rather than having sort of a hard sticker price. And that way, any composer who's interested can apply no matter what their financial situation is, which especially during the pandemic is really, really important. And because of that, we also saw a huge diversification of our application pool, which is in support of our mission to amplify the voices of historically underrepresented composers. So about 33 1/3% of our applications came from gender diverse composers, and 44.4% of applications were from composers of color. And I'd also like to plug that it's thanks to donors like everyone watching tonight that we're able to continue offering those scholarships, both our gender diversity scholarship and our composers of color scholarship every single year. And then the other piece of sort of increased accessibility that we've been able to do, especially this year, is a big expansion of our virtual auditor program. So these are composers who are not festival composers with premieres, but composers who still want to come to the educational portion of the festival and attend guest lectures and learn along with the festival composers. And that is also inclusive of a pay what you wish model. And also some of those slots are reserved specifically for composers of color in support of that mission to amplify underrepresented voices.
Yeah, that's so great. I also am going to pat myself on the back a little bit. As the person who runs technology for the organization, and being able to enable these types of initiatives is something that I love doing. It's so great that you guys are able to so easily um, sort of convey what the mission is, right? Like right at the top of this event, Gal reading off our mission statement, it's clear to everybody. And I know that I've overheard conversations that the two of you have had with others, that people are proud of the work that we're doing, that they see from the outside looking in that we also walk it. We don't just talk about what we want to do, especially over the last year. And what's really great too, the other thing that I get to do when we have festivals in person is I get to actually interview people who attend it, both composers and ensembles and residents. And so what I think we have a kind of a super cut of a bunch of those interviews, and so you don't have to take it from us. Why don't we just hear what these folks have to say about our festival, who have attended it?
Well, one, like, I loved how intimate that this festival was. I felt like I got to really know all the people here, and everyone just seemed very, very invested in each other, which was really cool. And it was very inspiring to really get to know all of the composers, all of the faculty, and all the ensembles really well. And then also, I was really excited about the ensembles that were coming in. I was really excited to write for Quinn's ensemble to work more on my vocal writing.
Oh, 100%. I think a lot of our ideas of commissioning involve inclusion and in the sense of culture and personality and race and sex and gender. And the festival has all of that. You have a good mixture of backgrounds and sexes here. So, and there's even scholarships for, women composers, which I think is rare still today, which is sad. So the fact that that's all here, and the fact that we get to also work with the composers and understand their interpretation is even more important for down the road, because chamber music is one of those rare experiences where you can talk with the audience and explain things and share conversations about music. So Connecticut Summerfest has been an amazing experience, and is definitely one of our best.
So I was looking for a way to kind of kickstart my writing again, and I saw the faculty and names that I knew, which sometimes is not the case with a lot of summer festivals. So I saw the faculty, I was like, whoa, this looks good. And then I saw the ensembles, and I was like, whoa, this looks good. So I was like, there's no reason that I shouldn't apply to this festival.
If you are looking for an opportunity to meet others who are within the new music world, but not just that, at the top of their game in the new music world, then this is a very good opportunity to do that. And I would say, particularly as a composer, one of the most beneficial things that this festival brings is an opportunity to work not just with really great faculty, but to work with musicians who get it. That's a really challenging thing sometimes, to put new music in front of players who would either rather not be doing that or don't have the capability to do that. This is a rare treat, I think, to be with musicians who are happy to work with you, who will go away and try new things, who are happy to experiment. To me, if there was one selling point of this, it's that opportunity.
So I really hope that I get to do more interviews like that going forward in the future. Maybe we should since we're all so used to, as Jill just said, waving and talking to each other in boxes, maybe I should conduct some interviews like that going forward this season. And I'm going to take some of the credit. While that clip show was rolling, Dennis Moore gave us a donation of $111.11 because we're number one, clearly. And that's put us over the $4,500 mark, which is really exciting. Thank you so much, Dennis. And so I hope that everybody watching tonight, who we so much appreciate joining us for this event and events that we've done like it in the past. But one other event that this festival is ostensibly about more than anything is its concert series coming up next month. So can the two of you kind of tell us a little bit about what we have to look forward to this year?
Yeah, absolutely. So something that kind of circles back to that idea of accessibility is that actually since our very first season in 2016, our concert series has been live streamed. And what these virtual seasons have allowed us to do is really focus on the concert series in that way and improve the quality overall of that concert series, which is free and available online. So this also allows audiences to more easily have conversations directly with our artists, just like Aaron was mentioning, whether that's through the chat like you all are seeing tonight or through our Zoom lobbies, which is sort of more direct. For anybody that might not know, we have 4 concerts every year. Our concert series is coming up next month in June, and we hope everyone watching tonight will be able to make it. If you haven't already, subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is where you are right now, because it'll ping you with notifications when our concerts go live, so you won't miss them. And each of our first 3 concerts actually spotlights a different ensemble in residence. And then our final 4th concert is the sort of culminating concert of the festival, which is our evening of web premieres, which are the new works written by our student composers.
So this year for our festival, we're starting off on Friday, June 11th with Zofo, who is a piano 4-hands duo out of the West Coast. So again, it's another connectivity thing that we can bring in people a lot more easily sometimes in the virtual format. So unintended benefits, we'll always take those. That's going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Then the next day, Saturday, June 12th, also 8 p.m. Eastern, we have Hub New Music, flute, clarinet, violin, and cello. Of course, you just met Mike Avitabile if you hadn't had the chance to meet him in one of our previous festivals. For Sunday, we have a matinee concert at 4 p.m. Eastern time, and that's going to be Front Porch. And again, you've just met Maddie and Carolyn, but in addition to them, we also have violin and percussion. So it's a really interesting combination of instruments there. And then finally, the culminating concert, June 18th, it's actually going to be the Friday after, 8 p.m. Eastern time, the evening of premieres. So all of these pieces that were written specifically for the festival, have been workshopped, rehearsed, recorded during the festival, finally have their web premiere. And that is a concert not to miss.
Awesome. It's definitely the concert not to miss. In my humble layman opinion, it gets better and better every year. The quality of the ensembles, the composers, it blows me away each time. So with that in mind, this is the 6th time that we've done it, right? This year is the 6th season of the festival. And that's really exciting because the festival every year, like I said, if I think it gets better, and I think it's only ever going to get better. What sort of kind of big picture, long-term vision stuff can Gal and Aaron peel the curtain back on for all of us tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. So this season is our 6th season, but what a lot of people might not know is that we're contracting next season, our 7th season right now. And at least in my brain, 7 is a lot closer to 10 and 10th anniversary. So that just sort of goes to show you that Connecticut Summerfest is an established, sustainable org with a pretty substantial history at this point. And that also means that we have the ability to work on those longer term goals, one of which Aaron mentioned earlier, which is our tuition-free initiative, which means that we can lower tuition towards 0 every single season for our festival composers.
And on that same idea, we actually this year, for the first time ever, had our Pay What You Wish application fee, which again, we're always striving to get closer and closer to 0 in addition to our tuition. And again, that allows us to have a more diverse pool of applicants who may not have otherwise applied because of economic barriers are now not only encouraged, but welcomed to be a part of our community. And everything just seems so connected today. That sort of connects us along to our auditing program, which we talked about a little bit earlier. And so since we've been running this now virtually, we're looking at ways that we can have both an in-person and a virtual auditor position, even at an in-person festival. And so what that allows for those composers is to have those kinds of meaningful interactions and all those educational experiences, but be more accommodated. For example, if they're not able to get here from Costa Rica, or they're not able to get here from Greece, or whatever they may be, they can at least attend in a virtual format that we're starting to hone on this year. So,
That's awesome.
Oh, go ahead.
No, that's great, Aaron. I really appreciate, hearing more about it. I think I'm looking at the chat constantly. That's why you maybe see my eyes shifting around. I don't see any pressing questions tonight, but I think I really appreciate the insight, that you guys are willing to let me pepper you with questions, even if the chat's not being so forthcoming. And look forward to seeing you guys next month at the concert series.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for joining us tonight, Pete.
All right. See you guys later.
And up now for you, we have our second performance by Maddie and Carolyn of 2021 Ensemble Front Porch. This is actually 2 improvisations by Maddie, bassoonist, and Carolyn, pianist. Thanks again for joining us this evening, and we'll see you after this piece.
Thank you again so much for joining us this evening. We are so, so, so grateful to you for helping us surpass our original fundraising goal and going even farther beyond it, which makes it really possible for us to adapt to some of the challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic and further our mission of facilitating the creation of new music. I did see that we had a question in the chat about whether we're going to do blended in-person and virtual next year. And the answer to that is that we're hoping to have everybody in person that's a festival composer, and that the auditors, the people who didn't write a piece for the festival but still want to participate, we can facilitate by using Zoom and any number of other technological means to involve them and also welcome them to our Discord community and everything that we can to make them feel like a part of the festival despite not physically being there. And while we're there, I also wanted to talk a little bit about some of the items left in our pop-up shop. Again, 100% of the proceeds of everything in there goes directly to the festival. And I think two things that might be of interest to you would be the digital downloads of albums by Zofo and Hub New Music. So since our concerts won't be for a month, this is a great way to sort of hype yourself up and get excited for some of the music that you're going to hear at the festival this summer.
We'd also like to say another huge thank you for helping us get to 229% of our original fundraising goal. The thermometer on our screen was our super stretch goal. So thank you again so much to all of our supporters and everyone watching this evening. And we look forward to having you join us next month at our free live streamed concert series, which features Ensembles in Residence, Front Porch, Hub New Music, and Zofo, and our final fourth concert on June 18th, the evening of web premieres. So lastly, I'd like to lead all of us in a toast to our viewers, continued health, and to Connecticut Summerfest's stellar 6th this season. May we have many more musically uplifting years ahead of us. Cheers.